Here's how to install our OCAM snorkel for the Mitsubishi Triton. Install the threaded studs onto the snorkel with some thread locker and let it cure for a bit while we prepare the vehicle. Remove the factory airbox by undoing its three 10mm bolts in these locations. Undo the intake pipe hose clamp and disconnect the map sensor, then remove the entire airbox assembly. Remove the Phillips screw holding in the pipe to the airbox, then press in the tabs on the tube to push it out. The three tabs on the intake opening of the airbox need to be filed down in order for the snorkel coupler to fit. Mark out the holes and drill using a 5mm drill bit. Use a deburring tool to remove any excess plastic on the drill holes, then secure the coupler to the airbox using rivets. Apply silicone sealant to the coupler for an airtight seal and wipe away any excess with some mineral turpentine and a rag. Remove the 10mm bolts holding in the wheel guard to the wheel arch. There are two bolts at the front which connect to the bumper, while the rest are self-tapping screws. Make sure to keep a note of this when refitting them, as the bolts hold in the bumper. Remove the several pop clips and screw clips along the inner edge, as well as the 4 Phillips screws along the outer edge towards the arch lip. Then remove the outer 10mm bolt and you should be able to drop down the wheel guard. We only need to drop it down a little bit so we can access the bolts when attaching the snorkel. Remove the two 10mm bolts holding in the radiator overflow reservoir. This will be replaced with a new one that's included in the kit. Disconnect the hose and transfer the fluid into the new reservoir and set aside. Use masking tape to hold the template up to the vehicle, then use a punch to mark out your drilling points. Use a step bit to widen the stud holes to 16mm, and then use a 95mm hole saw for the outer guard and a 102 hole saw for the engine bay hole. For the outer hole, you only need to drill through the quarter panel. Then on the inside layer, remove the wiring loom that's in the way, then drill out the hole. Deburr all drilling points and use a paint pen to protect from rust. Loosely attach the A-pillar bracket to the snorkel, then line it up with the vehicle. Mark out the drilling points for the bracket, then use a punch and 5mm drill bit to make the holes. Deburr and paint protect the holes, then secure the A-pillar bracket using rivets. With the connector tube, add on its hose clamps loosely and pre-route the tubing through the holes, then mount the snorkel to the vehicle using the supplied washers and nuts. Loosely tighten the stud nuts before loosely tightening the A-pillar bolts. Then tighten the stud nuts with a 13mm wrench and then tighten the A-pillar bolts with a 10mm wrench. At this stage you can tighten up the snorkel side of the connector hose with its hose clamp. Connect the reservoir extension tube using the supplied barb fitting and hose clamps, then tighten with a 7mm socket. Connect the new reservoir with its hose clamp, then route the tubing so it doesn't interfere with the airbox mounting points. Remove the 10mm ground bolt near the tube hole, then attach the supplied bracket to the reservoir. The reservoir uses this ground mounting point to secure the bottle. Refit the factory airbox with its 10mm bolts, then connect the snorkel tube and tighten its hose clamp. Reinstall the filter and lid, and then reconnect the map sensor and intake tubing. Reassemble the wheel guard liner using all the clips and bolts that were removed earlier. Then for the finishing touch, attach the air ram to the snorkel using the supplied black hose clamp. And there you have it, your OCAM snorkel is installed.